Space exploration was used by both the Soviet Union and United States to assert dominance over one another through political gains, developing technologies, and spending mass amounts of money to support space programs. On October 4, 1957, the Soviet Union surprised the U.S. by launching Sputnik, the first satellite in space. This action scared many Americans because the technology used for Sputnik could have potentially been used to make missiles that could reach the homeland of America. And it ultimately started the space race between the two countries. The space race moved the competition from Earth to space. Whereas before the countries competed between capitalism and democracy, now they were competing with technology. But the goal was still the same, to show who was the better country. In order to do this, both countries had to develop the technology, which resulted in the development of intercontinental ballistic missiles. The inventions during the space race are also widely applied to everyday items we use now, such as home insulation, baby formula, memory foam, and wireless headphones. In order to develop these technologies, the United States and Soviet Union had to invest massive amounts of money into space programs. For the Soviet Union, that meant that almost half of their military spending went towards their space programs. According to a document recorded by the Central Intelligence Agency in 1969, entitled Expenditure Implications of Soviet Space Programs, spending money for military space programs have become increasingly important. In 1968, costs of the reconnaissance program were almost $500 million, or more than 40% of all military spending. Continued growth in expenditures for reconnaissance is expected. On the other side, the United States encountered several problems trying to catch up at the beginning of the race. In order to catch up, they created space programs such as NASA and DARPA, or the National Aeronautics and Space Administration and Defense Advanced Research Projects Agency. Both were funded by the government to speed up the development of technologies. President John F. Kennedy himself issued a statement about his plans for government spending in regards to space.
I therefore ask the Congress, above and beyond the increases I have earlier requested for space activities, to provide the funds which are needed to meet the following national goals. First, I believe that this nation should commit itself to achieving the goal, before this decade is out, of landing a man on the moon and returning him safely to the Earth.
Through the money spent, technology developed, and desire for political gains, both the Soviet Union and United States used the space race to assert their dominance.